Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 6 of the
Yeah.
Grits and Gravy podcast. It's crazy that we still haven't missed an upload,
Yeah.
but we're professional out here. This is a professional podcast. Thank you to all the 21 subscribers that we have, hopefully a little more,
Yeah.
but we're
To the
thankful
moon.
to the moon. Grits and Gravy to the moon.
To the moon.
So, last episode, I started off talking about movie theater floors.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the movies that are in movie
Ah,
theaters.
I like it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
thought of.
Yeah.
Well thought of. So today we're going to do a regular podcast format and we're going to talk about what we believe to be our favorite underrated movies.
Yeah.
So if you want to start us off with your most underrated movie.
Yeah. I think for me, it's got to be Balls of Fury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic movie.
It
So
is
funny.
it is funnier than people give it credit for.
Yes, it is way funnier than people give it credit for. For people that haven't seen it, it's about a kid that's a ping pong prodigy and he like loses his championship match
Okay.
and he falls out of ping pong or whatever. So then as he gets older, the FBI uh has him infiltrate like a ping pong death match,
Okay, yeah,
and
it's
he's also trying to find out like who killed his father.
based on a true story.
Yeah, totally based on true story. Uh but it's just, and he goes through a bunch of funny scenarios. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like his ups and downs of his ping pong rise again,
Yeah.
and it's so funny. Like you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Like
It's crazy that they made a movie about an underground ping pong ring.
well, you get Christopher Walken in it, and
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
And he is like the best part of that movie for
Oh my
me. For
gosh,
me,
yeah,
it's too
he's
funny.
so funny in that movie. Like you think he's great in Joe Dirt, but like
Right.
that's just so like not him.
Yeah.
That is it's just
Well, it's
hilarious.
like when you put him in comedy movies, it's just
Yeah,
like he's not the comedy guy, but
his
he's so
tempo
funny.
and the way he says things is
Yeah.
just, oh my gosh. Yeah. Just like when he was like on Saturday Night Live and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like his skits are always so funny. Like the cowbell skit.
Right, yeah.
That's gonna live on forever
Or
because it's
The
hilarious.
Continental, that's my favorite.
The continent. I
Where
don't know if
he's the
maybe.
he answers the door and he's like the date rapist. And it's always like just the cameraman's hand in a white glove.
Okay,
And he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, would you like some fine champagne?" That's
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
And
talking
then she's like, "Oh, go use the bathroom, clean up." And then like the camera goes into the bathroom, and then he turns on the light, and then he goes to light a cigar, and you can see through the mirror.
about.
Yeah,
Yes.
Christopher Walken's great.
He is so great, man. And like you said, you throw him in a comedy movie and
Yeah.
it ups the ante for me. And I don't know why like people don't like that movie as much, but
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
it's silly though. It
it's
is.
very silly, but like that's kind of the point of a comedy movie
Yeah.
too. It's it's not like stupid humor, kind of like Napoleon Dynamite type of movie where
Right.
it's like, it's so dumb that it's hilarious.
Right.
But it's so like outrageous almost that it's, I don't know, it's
Right.
almost the perfect comedy movie for
Yeah,
me.
I feel that.
Is right there.
I don't know if I would say the perfect comedy movie.
I said it's right there. It's
Yeah.
right there. But
But
yeah.
like the one scene that like sticks out in my head is like they're on a bridge playing ping pong, right? Isn't that
Well, it's
like
like that's like the final fight.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like what the fuck
There's
is
like
going on here?
just
Yeah.
going for it. My favorite scene is there's a scene with Patton Oswalt and,
Yeah.
and he's at like this like recreation ping pong tournament where he's just trying to get like his like motive back, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just trying to get a couple easy wins. And he comes out like to this hardcore rock song and he's like dancing. He's like, tell your mom to pull the car around. And then he loses to him.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt comes out, he's like, it tastes good. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's a fantastic movie.
And if you haven't seen it, you should give it a watch. At least
At
one.
least one. I
Yeah,
would recommend it for
for
sure.
sure. We just said for sure at the same time. That was weird.
Jinx.
Jinx, you owe me a kiss? What?
Later.
Later. Yeah. We'll turn the cameras off for
Yeah.
that. You got to pay extra to
You
see
gotta pay
that.
extra for that. Grits and gravy's after hours.
Yeah, after dark.
After dark. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my favorite, most underrated movie is also a comedy,
Mhm.
but it's a different comedy. It's a dry comedy
Okay.
because I'm a huge fan of the UK.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
Anybody out there who knows me knows I'm way too into UK culture
Yeah.
and UK humor because like it's sarcastic and dry, just like
Yeah.
I am. You
Very
know what I
dry.
mean?
Yeah.
and it's the invention of lying, and it was terribly received by critics,
Okay.
like really bad. Nobody saw it,
Uh-huh.
but it's really worth a watch. It's a Ricky Gervais movie, and basically, like this to sum up the plot of it, is a guy lives in a world where nobody lies, right?
Mm.
And like everybody just like always tells the truth, and they're always shitting on this guy because he's like a loser, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just one day decides, well, I'm gonna lie, and so he
Okay.
does, and he says something that isn't the truth, and it just works, and they believe him, and he ends up getting money from the bank, and he keeps telling all these stories to his buddies at the bar, and he can just lie now.
Mm-hmm.
So then it goes, and his mom's real sick, and she's on like her deathbed, and she's afraid to die. And well, he tells her that there's this place you go to at it, like after you die, the afterlife. It's great. You live in a mansion, blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And people hear him and think it's the truth. And how does he know this? And then he basically like so it's basically like a satire on how religion was made,
Okay.
which is kind of why people soured on it in the
Uh-huh.
first place, right?
Yeah.
But like if you're super religious, probably not the film for you, right?
Okay. Start with that.
But it's so like witty and like like humorous,
Uh,
but it's also like got like underlying meanings and shit, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like well,
Is it a movie that you like have to like really like pay attention to,
no.
or is it something you can just kind of like sit back
No, you can
and
sit
like
back
you
and
can like
watch it.
like look
Yeah.
at your pop, you know what I mean? Like
As long as you can hear it, you basically get the gist of
okay,
it.
okay.
But yeah, it's really worth a watch. It's got why can't I think of his name? Oh my God. Jonah Hill.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got Jonah Hill in it.
Oh, really?
And he's like his neighbor,
Uh-huh.
and he's super suicidal.
Uh-huh.
And like, cause they all tell the truth. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, well, I did a bunch of pills and I threw up. I've been looking up online how to hang myself, so I think I'm gonna try that tonight." And
Oh,
he's like, "Oh,
he's a
cool."
beast.
But then he ends
It's
up
dark.
like, yeah, it's really dark.
Yeah,
Like, and
okay.
then when he lies, he comes home and he's like, it will get better.
Uh
And he's like, "Oh, it will? Like, cool. I guess I shouldn't." He's like, "Do you want to hang out later?" He's
uh
like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I guess I don't need to go buy that rope then." I was like, that kind of made my whole afternoon weird. And then they become like real good friends and
Yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah. But like it's got a bunch of little moments like that
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, is lying bad, is lying good,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole religious aspect of it's kind of funny.
Yeah, right.
But like I said, if you're super Christian, you're gonna get mad. Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it.
Fair. At least you put a disclaimer on it,
Yeah,
you know.
because it is pretty blasphemous.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, it's like,
Hey, to each his own.
yeah,
To
to
each
each
his
their
own.
own.
To each his own.
But yeah, that's my comedy underrated.
Yeah.
But I think the most underrated film of all time, and it's a sci-fi space movie,
Mm.
and it's called Sunshine.
Yes.
And it is like by far one of the greatest movies in the genre, if
Yeah.
not of all time,
Yeah.
and nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
Like
Literally nobody.
I know it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Spencer Woodwill, shout out to you because I know you watch every one, and me and him have talked about this movie before.
Mm-hmm.
But so basically, what happens is the sun is like gonna die, and they have to send a ship to go restart the sun. And they already sent one, right? And then the second one is going on its way.
Yeah. The first one
Yeah,
fails
it
on the way.
fails.
Yeah.
And then they send the second one to go restart the sun. And like it's too crazy to explain. You just gotta see it for yourself.
There's a whole bunch of twists and
Yeah.
turns in that movie. It's
But
crazy.
Cillian Murphy is the star. He played the Scarecrow in the Batman trilogy,
Yep.
and he's the star of Peaky Blinders, which if you haven't seen that, it's a terrific show, not sponsored. But he does a terrific job in the main actor role.
Uh-huh.
Chris Evans is in it as well. I can't
Yeah.
think who the female lead is.
I
I don't know. I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
I can't remember either.
But it's like it's one of the best space movies, who like gives you really good perspective on how terrifying being out in space would actually be.
Uh-huh.
Like, because you just feel so alone the whole time you're watching it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, it gives you that like creepy feeling
Yeah.
almost.
It like you almost feel like you're like there
Yeah.
because it's an indie film too.
Y-
So it's not like, it was never like fully broadcasted. Like I don't know if it ever hit theater, maybe,
Right.
but it is one of those like small films that like
Yeah.
very low budget,
I
but
don't know, it's
like
very low budget.
well,
But
for
yeah,
if you know what I mean,
it's
like
definitely not a
compared
blockbuster.
to yeah, it's not
Yeah,
compared to like a Marvel movie, you know what I mean? Like it's very low budget,
yeah,
but but no, you feel like you're there almost.
yeah,
Like the acting is really good. I mean, they set the scene
yeah.
perfectly for you. I mean, yeah.
The environment is really well done.
Yes.
And if you are listening to this, and I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Last I knew it was on Netflix. Don't
Not
quote me
sure.
on that. But if you like space or sci-fi movies and you haven't seen it, you need to go look up Sunshine like right now. Not right now, finish the podcast.
Yeah.
But after the podcast, go watch Sunshine.
Go out Sunshine.
It is that good.
Good movie. Good movie.
Yeah.
Um, well, I guess if I'm trying to pick my most underrated movie
Of all
of
time.
all time, man, I that's a tough question
Yeah.
because as we were discussing, you know, I'm pretty kind of basic when it comes to like movie watching. Like
Right.
I like the ones that like movies that people really like. I also like because they're good, and I noticed that in the
Yeah.
movie. But I would say an underrated movie, and this is probably people that have seen it won't agree with me probably, but I would say Batman versus Superman
Oh, okay.
is pretty underrated. I get it. I'm sure I don't even have to explain what the movie's about. I mean, it's
Right.
pretty much in the title.
Batman and Superman.
You
There you
know,
go.
and people have, I'm sure they've seen scenes of Ben Affleck in the big Batman suit, and I think that's half the reason people didn't like the movie, is just because they didn't like Ben Affleck.
Right.
But I mean, it was kind of everywhere. They kind of jumbled it all together, but it was good. I mean, I liked it. I thought the fight scenes were solid. I know they're like, oh, Batman's just a regular guy fighting Superman, but yeah, he's in a big robot suit. Cut him some slack,
Yeah.
all right? Like you can only do so much.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not. And that's probably most of the responses
Yeah.
people give.
I have not seen it. I
Um,
don't watch many DC movies. Just
I mean, they made a what's that guy that played in the Social Network that played Zuckerberg? I don't
Jesse
know.
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg, yes.
Yeah.
He played
Okay.
Luthor in that movie, and he did a really good
Yeah, I
job.
can see that.
Yeah, and I mean, even though he doesn't really fit the scale of Lex Luthor, I mean,
Right.
you know, but he did a really good job. He was maniacal. He was crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was a well done movie, but
Right.
I'm in the very minority of
Yeah.
that. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sucker for
A
Marvel and
superhero
DC
movie.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I do. I do.
Well, you are a Batman guy too.
I am a
Like,
Batman guy. Yes. But I'm not a Superman guy.
right.
I I don't like Superman.
Yeah, because Superman's so boring.
It is a very boring watch
Yeah.
usually. I mean, no offense to people who love Superman.
No offense, you're basic. If
I
Superman's your
mean,
favorite superhero, you need to sort your
he
life
is
out
the
and grow
most
up.
basic superhero. I mean, he's got all the and he has one weakness, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's always the same. Oh, he got some kryptonite, you know? It's like, all
Yeah.
right, like we get it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, who would you say your favorite superhero is?
My favorite superhero,
Yeah,
Gambit, without a shadow of a doubt.
really?
Yeah.
From X-Men.
From X-Men.
Really?
Always been my favorite.
Usually it's like, you know, Wolverine or
No,
Cyclops or
Gambit is so much cooler than people give it credit for.
no, I agree. I
Like,
like Gambit.
like there's a storyline in the comics too where he gets a lobotomy and it like shrinks his power level down to like the Gambit we know now.
Mm,
But like Gambit as like him with his full power is an Omega level mutant.
okay.
He turns matter into energy. And like people are like, "Oh, he does throw cards." Like, no, he doesn't just
I
throw
was gonna say
cards.
he throws the cards too,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
but
okay.
that's just he grabs the card, turns it to energy, and then throws the energy,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then the
yeah.
energy explodes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he grabbed, like, let's say he grabs a missile and gets the stored energy in the matter and turns it into more energy, he's throwing a missile.
Hmm.
Like, it's not like he's just, oh, all I'm doing is throwing cards at people. He's throwing energy at people.
Yeah.
And he's a martial artist, and he's smart, and he's funny and clever, and he's got the coolest accent. His whole style with the brown trench coat
Uh-huh.
and the bow staff, like it's cool.
Yeah.
And then purple and pink have always been like my favorite colors, and that's like the energy in his eyes and shit.
Yeah.
And he's never been done well on the screen. Like there's a fan film made about Gambit, which is really good. You can look it up on YouTube. But
Isn't Gambit more of a villain though?
no, no, he is an X-Men.
Wasn't he? I thought he was with Magneto.
No,
Maybe I'm
no,
thinking of like a part in like the cartoons, like when
maybe,
we were
but
kids.
no, he's an X-Men through and through.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's my favorite superhero.
Favorite superhero.
Yeah,
I don't. Well, my favorite superheroes as a kid was like the Flash and the Green Lantern when I
right.
was a kid. Now that I've grown up a little bit, um, I would probably go with like I don't know. That's tough. Because I like Thor a lot. I
Right.
think I like the hammer. I like the whole, like mythology of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he actually could have like a background, like realistically. Well, not realistically, but in mythology.
Right.
So I'll probably I'll just go with Thor,
Okay.
just to save on me just sitting here with a blank
Right.
face, my face just looking at you, stare deeply in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with Thor. I like I said, I like the hammer. I like the mythology of it.
Right. Yeah, I feel it.
He can do all the cool stuff.
Do you wanna bring us in one more underrated movie?
One more underrated movie.
Probably have time to do one more piece.
Okay. Yeah. It's a tie between two for me,
Okay.
and they're both comedy movies. I mean,
I know.
one of them's at my absolute favorite movie, which that's I'll just go with that one.
Okay.
So that's gonna be forgetting Sarah Marshall,
Yeah.
forgetting Sarah Marshall,
Yeah, starring Jason Segel.
starring. Yeah, Steven Seagal's
Yeah.
brother.
So I love you, Sarah Marshall.
I don't know how underrated it actually is. Most of the time when I make reference, because I
You
reference that movie
all the
almost
time,
all the time,
every day.
pretty much. And some people get it, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
But for people that haven't seen it, it's about a guy. He's with this famous actress. He's also he makes the music for her like TV show that she's supposed to be the star of. They end up breaking up, and so he takes this trip to Hawaii, and he meets a girl there, and then they go through a whole bunch of funny scenarios. It's got Jason Segel in it,
Yeah.
Mila Kunis, um,
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. That's the one I
Yeah.
was thinking of, and what's her name? Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell. Yeah,
And then
and
Paul Rudd shows up, Jonah Hill shows
yeah,
up.
and they all make like these small scenes, and they're all just these super funny moments in the
Yeah.
movie. You know it, man.
It does go really, really smoothly
It
throughout the whole
does the
thing.
whole movie, and then he does the whole the Dracula thing,
Yeah.
and oh man, like it's so great.
And a lot of people haven't seen it, which
I
is
know,
weird.
which is crazy to me because I loved that movie like
Yeah.
from the minute I watched it. So I never understood whenever I'd make references like, "What's that from?" And I'd be like, "Oh, this," and I'd
Yeah.
be like, "What's that?" And then I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, no, that would definitely be my most underrated movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, that's definitely one to watch
That's
as well.
probably Mila Kunis's best acting,
Yeah,
like ever.
yeah,
Like Book of Eli, she was good in, but like
that
I
was
think
such a good
it
movie.
was it was a really good movie. But I think she serves better in a comedy anyway. And I think I
For
like
sure.
I
Well,
think in
with her
that,
voice, she's got it's
yeah,
tied to Meg from Family Guy. You know
right.
what I mean?
In
So
Jackie from that '70s show.
and Jackie, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's tough to like really take her in a serious role,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, she's great in that movie too. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
The part where she gets in the fight on the beach, that shit cracks me up every single time I watch it.
Yeah.
Like she just goes all crazy.
Yeah, she just goes nuts. And she's like, "What's going on here?"
But yeah,
Yeah,
and then probably my favorite like actor in that movie is Paul Rudd as the
yeah,
the weed up
yeah.
fucking
Surfboard lesson
surfboard
guy,
lesson guy.
surfboard teacher.
Yeah.
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 My favorite scene, I think you'll agree, is when he's like crying and he's in the top floor of the hotel.
Yeah.
And they call him, they're like, "Hey, there's been word that there's a woman crying from the top floor." And he's like, "Yeah, I've been hearing it too. Uh, I don't know." And she's like, "You're on the top floor." He's like, "I'll try to keep it down."
Yeah, it's really
Oh
good.
my gosh. It ends up very happily, and
Yeah.
yeah, but it's a great movie.
And if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. We shouldn't say this
I mean, that's
anymore.
for all the movies we're
If
talking
yeah, if
about.
it's
Yeah,
on this episode, you should probably go see it.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm gonna bring it out with not a comedy. It's a little bit. It's like it has a happy ending, but it's like kind of like dark story.
Okay.
Okay, it's called Risk Cutters, a love story,
Okay.
right? So it's basically like this dude kills himself, right? And when he does, he gets transported to this world where like it's like you're just living your regular life, except you can't smile.
Okay.
and you do like, regular stuff, except it's all super like depressing looking and like gray almost.
Hmm.
But everyone who kills themselves goes to this world. And then you just like live your life, and he like meets his friend who's like this Russian, some kind of over there in Europe
Hmm.
kind of guy, who his whole family has killed himself, so they all live there together.
Hmm.
And then a girl shows up and she like didn't kill herself. It was like a mistake that she was there. So like those three go on a road trip and like try to go find the people who are in charge to like send her back. And like the main dude and the girl fall in love on the way, and blah blah. But it's like this good like story about like the inner meaning of it or whatever is like dealing with like depression and all of that, and like finding a way to be happy in a
Hmm.
place that there's no happiness from. It's like basically like a whole like allegory on like mental health and depression. And the whole time through it's just like this story that's just like you like really care about. And it was like an indie movie or whatever, so not a lot of people have seen it, but it's really really good, and I'm sure that one's on Netflix, so you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I've seen that one.
It's really really good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a little, if suicide is a trigger for you, understand it's gonna be in the movie. So, maybe not like super graphic, but like sometimes it is. So if you have a trigger warning like that, I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely really good. Like in like I've always dealt with depression, right?
Hmm.
So like movies about depression, I watch, and like it helps me understand like
Yeah.
what's going on in here.
Yeah.
So that was a really good one to watch when I was really dealing with it. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Do you have like I don't know how much time we have left, but
I'll
uh
get time.
okay. Do you have like a super like obscure movie that you like?
Super obscure movie. Yes, there's a movie called Chum Scrubber.
Okay.
And it's so this dude's best friend kills himself. There's a lot of suicide, I don't know why. But this
You're
dude's
really into
best
those movies, man.
yeah. Well, it's weird because I watched these two at like the same time too.
Okay.
So like in my head it's like the same memory.
Okay.
But so this dude's friend kills himself, and he has a bunch of drugs in a backpack that he was supposed to give to a dealer. So the dealer comes to the friend and is like, "Yo, I need to get this, drug money back, whatever." And
Hmm.
like, so he's trying to find the drugs, and the drug dealer's like fucking with him the whole time, and like none of the parents care about anything, and it's all fake, and they're all on like, prescription drugs, and it's like they're zombies almost. It's like about like, it was like it's like a satire on suburban life almost. How like parents like in the antidepressant age haven't like cared about their kids because they're doing their own thing and they're like all on Zoloft and stuff.
Hmm.
And but that movie is a really good story. And the star of it, I can't think of his name, but he's the dude who plays Goku in that terrible Dragon Ball Z live action movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the friend is
I
somebody
think he
too.
plays what's his name? Sokka in the last Airbender movie as well.
Yeah, yep. And then I can't think of who the main guy is though, but he's in other stuff too. I just can't think of what he's in.
Hmm.
But that's a really underrated movie that like nobody's watched. But Spencer will get both of those last movies references because I watched them with him. But yeah, that's a really good movie. If you can find that anywhere, I would recommend watching it.
Oh, oh, me?
Yeah, you,
I
yeah.
have you've seen this movie as well. It's Lars and the Real Girl.
Okay,
It's
yep, yep.
starring Ryan Gosling
Yeah.
about this guy that's he's like I wouldn't say he's strange, but he's like super shy and like doesn't know how to talk to people. So he's like living in the garage of like his brother and his like wife's house or whatever. And he's like he goes through this like I don't know like state of mind where like he ends up he ends up making this doll, right?
Yeah.
And he starts like pretty much dating this doll. I know it sounds crazy. It is Ryan Gosling too, so but he's dating this doll and like it he brings it everywhere. People think he's nuts. They end up treating this doll like it's a person now, like over time, because everybody's like, oh, like he's just a little off, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So they just everybody plays with it. And then in the end, uh he ends up getting with like a real person,
Right.
which is kind of weird that it ends up that way. But he was banging that doll.
He was definitely banging that doll. Yeah. There's
100%. He pretended like he wasn't, but
yeah,
come on.
there's no way it wasn't.
You're not dating this doll and not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I like that movie. I wouldn't necessarily say like go out and watch it because you have to like really enjoy like different kinds of
Right.
movies to really enjoy that movie. But it is good. It is good,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
It deserves a watch. Give
I
it a
mean,
watch.
all of these do, you know.
Yeah.
But if any of them were the ones that you weren't gonna watch, I would say that's probably the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that would be my most obscure movie, I
Yeah.
think.
I feel that.
Hmm.
Well, that is unfortunately all the time we have, I do believe. It's right around, I'm not sure where it's at. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
But we're almost half hour. Who cares?
yeah.
We're not keeping
Time
track here.
flies, you
Yeah.
know, time flies.
But hopefully you guys at home enjoyed this regular format of the podcast, and us talking about movies and whatnot. If there's anything that you guys want to hear us talk about in the future, we would love to have some comments. Comment anything you want us to talk about, topics, whatnot.
Anything. Yeah.
We will take them into consideration. You better
Hmm.
believe it.
For sure.
But that's all the time we have for now. So until next time, I've been Grits.
I've been Gravy. Until next time.
Good vibes only.